Hello everyone, welcome back, and Barcelona beats Rayo Vallecano 3-0, and I thought it was a pretty enjoyable game to watch, and obviously it's also a step closer to getting second in La Liga, which is important so Barcelona can qualify for the Supercopa next year and get, I think, around 7 million just for playing in that tournament, which is great. It's good for Barcelona's finance, and of course you want another chance. Any opportunity you can get for a trophy is great. And yeah, overall it was a pretty enjoyable game to watch, I think. It was nice to see Vitor Roque coming onto the field, and Pedri getting a brace was great. And I also, in this video, I wanted to talk about the situation between Xavi and Laporta. So yeah, I'm going to talk about all of that today. And just one complaint that I have about the man management. Look, Lamine Yamal is an incredible player. He's been the best player for Barcelona this season, but that doesn't mean that he should be starting and playing 90 minutes every single week. And especially now, Barcelona have had 3 games in the last 7 days. They had a game on Monday, they had a game on Thursday, and now a game today on Sunday. And that's 3 games that Lamine Yamal has played 90 minutes in. And in this game especially, he looked very tired at the end. He should have been taken out. Barcelona definitely have enough subs to give him some rest, especially when Barcelona were 3-0 up. And it's not a problem until it is, about overplaying someone. And I think there have been many cases like that for Barcelona recently. So that just can't happen. You don't want that to happen, and especially with the Euros coming up. Lamine Yamal is going to be an important piece to Spain. He might also be going to the Olympics. I kind of hope not, because you don't want to overplay him. But yeah, Xavi, just the man management is important, and trying to make sure that your players stay fit and healthy. I would love to watch Lamine Yamal for 90 minutes every single game, but it's important to split time and to not, overplay him. So yeah, that's a slight complaint that I have, but yeah, Lamine Yamal, just another incredible performance today. I don't have any words to explain how good he is. And like I said, it was great to see Vitor Roque on the field, and I think that's the best case scenario, is to have Lewandowski be the starting striker next year, and then Vitor Roque coming in and getting minutes, maybe 15 to 20 minutes at the end of the game, or having a start in games that, Barcelona, maybe it's against less difficult opponents that maybe Barcelona are expecting to win, and there would be some more space in behind. Or also, in some games you need to switch something up. The Lewandowski as a number 9 isn't working, and then you want someone that has a little bit more movement that can offer something different. And I think Vitor Roque is the profile that could really help Barcelona. And I've liked what I've seen so far with Vitor Roque in the first 6 months. In his first couple months in a top European league, I think he's done well. So yeah, I hope that's the best case scenario. And I think my complaint was really the talk about Vitor Roque potentially leaving permanently or going out on loan. I just think, yeah, maybe that could have been all talk. We don't know. But the way that Xavi made it sound like was that he was thinking about sending him out on loan. And for me, I think it would be great if Vitor Roque and Lewandowski are splitting time next year. And then Vitor Roque, hopefully after Lewandowski leaves, because that's going to be his last season, that Vitor Roque, hopefully he would be ready to start. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of promise in Vitor Roque, and I definitely don't want Barcelona to sell him or send him out on loan this summer. And in the beginning of that game, I think you could tell that there are a lot of games in La Liga, and especially in the Champions League, that Barcelona, they're going to need a defensive midfielder. The midfield of Gundogan, Fermin Lopez, and Sergio Roberto, I don't even know if that looks great on paper, but I think the same thing about, Gundogan and Frenkie de Jong and Pedri, or Gundogan, Frenkie de Jong, Gavi. I think Barcelona, they really do need someone that can hold the midfield down, and I think Christensen, yeah, he's a little bit more mobile. He does make some runs. It's not like he stays stationary like Busquets used to do, but I still think it's important to have a profile like that, and Christensen, I think he has really helped Barcelona's midfield, and that is a signing that the club know they need to make. I think it's probably going to be Guido Rodriguez, possibly another defensive midfielder, but yeah, there are also exciting prospects in the academy like Pau Prim, Marc Bernal. I've watched them just a little bit, some highlights, and yeah, I'm excited by the prospects, and also, you just want Barcelona. They know that they need to add someone in that position, and if it's going to be Guido Rodriguez, I would hope that would be, an upgrade on Oriol Romeu, who obviously hasn't had the best season. But yeah, it's of course a position that Barcelona, they know they need to look into in the summer, and hopefully they can make that signing happen. And Pedri, of course, it was very nice to see him on the field and grab a brace, and Joao Felix's footwork and that second goal to set that up was incredible. That was just so nice, and that's what he can produce. He has the ability to do, but it's just sometimes he's just doesn't seem like he's really in the game, or he's just kind of drifting in and out. He's not making the impact that, given the talent that he has, he could be making. Yeah, in my opinion, I still think it's likely that Barcelona, I definitely don't think they're going to sign him permanently, but would it be the worst thing to bring him back for a loan for next year? If it's on a low contract, a low salary, then no, I don't think so, but might be difficult, because I think Atletico Madrid, they would probably want to find a solution to this problem pretty soon, because it doesn't seem like he's going to go back to Atletico Madrid. I'm sure he would be booed there, because he celebrated against them when he scored for Barcelona. Yeah, I don't really know how that situation is going to go. But like I said, to start this, Pedri being back on the field, it's great to see. And right before the Euros, you hope he can have a great campaign. He can be very, very healthy and successful with Spain in the summer. And yeah, I'm really happy to have him back on the field. And you want to give him a lot of time just to, get back to match fitness and yeah, hopefully he can stay healthy for next season because he's one of the most important players on the team. Then also, of course, we have to talk about Xavi versus Laporta and all the stuff that's been going on around the media because, Xavi in his press conference, he said that he's calm, he's excited to be Barcelona's coach next season, but with the stuff that's been going out about Laporta, it seems like Laporta actually wants to fire Xavi because of the words that Xavi said in his press conference last week, which, in my opinion, I didn't really see much wrong with what Xavi said. I think Xavi said, basically, we can't compete with top teams around the world financially, which is completely true. I think all of us know that. We're not even seeing we're not seeing the balance, we're not seeing the revenue coming in, but we know, it's very evident that Barcelona cannot compete financially with the other teams around the world. Maybe Laporta took that as, Xavi's not appreciative because, Laporta, in all fairness, he has given Xavi some good signings. He signed Lewandowski for around 50 million, Koundé for around 50 million, Rafinha for around 60 million. He has given Xavi signings, so I don't think Xavi's trying to come across as unappreciative about that, but I think he's saying what everyone else knows is that, financially Barcelona cannot go make the signings that they want to make. And a couple years ago, a Barcelona coach could say, yeah, we want those players, here's the players, we need 40 million for a player in this position, and then, they were spending at one point 100 million on players, so yeah, it's obviously a very different situation. I think it's a more healthy situation now that Barcelona are relying on the academy. And then hopefully in a couple years, they can get back to that level where they can sign top quality players, some of the best in the world in their position. But right now, I like the position that Barcelona are in, where they're relying on their academy. They're giving academy products a first team route into the starting lineup, and I think that's great. Some people say maybe it's because of the injuries that they're getting so much playing time, but I think it also is because of La Masia having so much talent, and obviously they know how Barcelona want to play, so it's just a great fit, and I really like La Masia having a more experienced players in the starting lineup. That's really nice to see because at one point the route from La Masia to Barcelona's first team, it didn't feel as connected, but I think Xavi, he has brought that back, and that's really nice to see. And with the stuff that we're seeing from the media, it seems like Laporta is looking for other coaches. There's been talk about Thomas Tuchel, De Zerbi, Thiago Motta. I think we missed out on Thiago Motta. He looks likely to be off to Juventus. I think Laporta, the way that he's handled this situation is really poor, and there were some Barcelona fans at the stadium today saying, Xavi yes, Laporta no. So yeah, a lot of Barcelona fans, maybe they're upset with Laporta right now. I think financially he has made some not the best decisions, I would say. In hindsight is great. The fact that we're seeing it now didn't look like the best. But yeah, I think Laporta, maybe he is trying his hardest, but of course he has not been perfect. I don't think anyone thinks that he has been since he came back as Barcelona's president. I think he's trying his hardest, like I said, but it's difficult sometimes to defend some of the reactions and some of the steps that he's taken as Barcelona's president. And I would say, if this happens, when Xavi, he gave Barcelona months in advance to find a replacement for him. He said, in February, I will take all the blame. I am going to leave Barcelona because I think I've taken the club as far as I can take it, and it needs change, and I will be the first to go, which I really respected from Xavi because, a lot of other coaches in that position, maybe they're going to try and force the blame on Laporta for not being able to sign more players or just the financial situation or anything, But Xavi, I think he took it and he said, I'm going to put this blame all on myself. I'm going to leave. And then Laporta, he knew that, but he still spent the next couple months trying to convince Xavi to stay. It did work. Now Xavi is staying. But then, after all those months of basically begging him to stay, just for Xavi to say, yeah, we can't compete financially with other teams, and Laporta's mad about that, and then he decides to fire Xavi, and then you're back to square one with less months to prepare, that would be a terrible situation. In my opinion, though, I think it's a lot of noise from the media. I do feel like Xavi is going to stay and be Barcelona's coach next season. And again, I think that's the best case scenario because especially now, especially the fact that, the season is about to end, you wanted to prepare for the next coach a lot longer in advance, but you just don't have that opportunity now. So I think it's the best case scenario that Xavi does stay at Barcelona. I know a lot of people are frustrated with some of the things that he does. Maybe Barcelona does need a new start, and I agree with that. But I hope next season it would be able to be a new start, even if Xavi is still the coach. And I think there has been a lot of negative media around Barcelona right now, and maybe that's also why I haven't made a video, because I typically like to stay positive about Barcelona, and I know the situation can sometimes be frustrating, especially when players like Estevao Willian, who wanted to come to Barcelona, who would have been such an exciting prospect for the next couple of years, he slips away. He's off to Chelsea now. Yeah, that stuff like that is frustrating. The same with Echevarri, who was a really exciting Argentinian prospect, who's now off to Man City. Lucas Bergvall, not as excited about him, but he's off to Tottenham, and yeah, Barcelona, they've missed out on some prospects, but I still think it's the right idea, to sign to look and try and sign these top players, and also relying on your academy. That's the most important thing. I think that's the way that Barcelona can get some of their identity back, because I think under Bartomeu it was very much lost. It didn't look like Barcelona, and we all knew that, and we could all see that happening. Just couldn't do anything to stop it. But Laporta, yes, I'm not saying he's perfect at all. The Messi situation has been handled poorly. The Xavi situation was handled very, very poorly as well. Some of the signings I haven't understood. I mean, I think of like Marcus Alonso, who you gave him a big contract to. Lewandowski as well. I understood, that's a big name signing, and I think he's done well with Barcelona. But, to pay him $32 million in his third year as a 36-year-old, yes, financially not the best decision. But, maybe he's trying his hardest. We can't see what's going on the inside. But, yeah, I'm not saying that Laporta is perfect, of course. But I think he's doing as best as he can, and hopefully we see some improvement in the next year. But I still think Barcelona has a lot going for them, and we know that the league is going to be very competitive. We know that the squad maybe won't have the right additions if they want to get back to being one of the best teams in the world, but I still think the squad is more than capable of competing for all trophies next season. Hopefully Xavi gets the best out of his players, and you have the academy to hopefully have a couple more players that can come into the first team next season. Mikal Faye, Marc Bernal, Danny Rodriguez, Mark Yu also would probably be playing a little bit. These Marc Casado as well. Yeah, these are some players that I'm really excited about, and I think the future of Barcelona, it looks great. I'm very excited about it, and of course, it's frustrating when you miss out on signings like Esteval Willian, Echevarri, but these things happen, and I think Barcelona, they still have a great academy, and hopefully in the next couple of years they'd be back to signing some of the best players in the world, or players that have a lot of potential going forward. But yeah, anyways, hopefully you all are still staying positive about Barcelona. I still think the club has a very bright future, and it's difficult times right now because of the Champions League, because of La Liga, because of all the media that's coming out and reporting that Laporta is unhappy with Xavi, and there's a lot of conflict there, and especially with the Vitor Roque situation as well. Yeah, there have been a lot of deserved question marks being raised about the way that Barcelona have handled this situation currently, but still, I think Barcelona, the direction they're going, I'm very excited for, and I can't wait to see what happens. And anyways, thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate it, and hope you all have a great rest of your day. Visca Barca, and thank you all. See you later. Peace.